Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of January 25th, 2017. Let's get right into it. Decent sized week this week, so your wallet's going to hate you. First up, we have Action Comics number 972. This looks like it hopefully finishes up Men of Steel. I've been enjoying the Action Comics so far. The Men of Steel stuff with Lex Luthor and Superman has been awesome. Next up, we have Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 3. This has just been a really fun book, combining Batman from the Batman Adventures animated and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated stuff. So, fun title. Next up, we have Bloodshot USA number 4. This finishes up Bloodshot USA by Jeff Lemire. I'm curious to see where they go with Bloodshot after this, but I've been really enjoying Bloodshot overall, from the first series to Bloodshot Reborn, and now with Bloodshot USA. So if you have not yet checked it out, I highly recommend it. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 949. Batwoman Begins is the story arc that's going on. It's just been an amazing book. Detective is one of the top books from DC right now, and you definitely need to be checking it out if you're not. I believe the trade is coming out soon-ish, so be on the lookout for that if you have not yet checked it out. Next up, we have Divinity 3 Stalinverse number 2. I read the first one and the one-shots that have come out so far, and I've been really digging this alternative Stalinverse that Valiant's doing with the Divinity stuff. So I'm curious to see where it goes. Next up is a book that was delayed for me just because we didn't order enough, and that's Earth 2 Society number 20. Ryan misordered and forgot to order my copy, so I finally got that one in. Yay. Next up, we have Flash number 15. Rogues Reloaded continues in this story arc. Apparently Heatwave is in this one. Flash has just been really solid book, and I'm looking forward to this Rogues coming back stuff that's going on. Next up, we have Frostbite number 5. I've been enjoying Frostbite for the most part. It's a nice kind of different book. So if you're looking for something that's not superhero-ish, but is an interesting kind of look on, kind of dystopia in an ice age, I would highly recommend Frostbite. Next up, we have Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps, number 13. This is the hero's story, so I'm not sure what that's going to entail, but Hal Jordan's been just totally amazing. Really solid stuff, almost up there with the caliber of John's run on Green Lantern. So if you have not yet checked out Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps, you probably should. Next up, we have Hellblazer number 6. Just a fair book. I like it. It's okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going with it, but we'll see. And next up is the continuation of the one-shots from the Justice League of America, and this is for Killer Frost Rebirth. The first two, the Atom and the Vixen one, were enjoyable enough, so I'm really curious to see what Steve Orlando gives us with Killer Frost. She's been awesome in the next book, which is Justice League versus Suicide Squad number 6. This finishes up the Justice League versus Suicide story, and I must say that DC has done a great job with this event book. It came out every single week for 6 weeks. We got 4 tie-in issues, 2 with Justice League and 2 with Suicide Squad, and they all came out on time and just nicely packaged. So it's a really solid book. Just a really solid presentation as well. So kudos to DC for getting that done. Next up is a new thing from DC, and that is the Commandi Challenge. This is the first part of, I think, 12? Yeah, 12. So it's going to be different creative teams. One tells a story, and then the other continues the story, so on and so forth. So I'm curious to see how that goes. We'll see. Next up is a new miniseries from Image called Loose Ends by Jason Latour. Looked interesting enough, so I was going to give it a try there. Jason Latour works with Jason Aaron on Southern Bastards, and so Next up, we have 6-issue miniseries from DC that's starting up, and it comes out of stuff pre-Wonder Woman, and that is the Odyssey of the Amazons. This is one of 6. Not sure what to think of this, but I'm curious to see how it goes. I kind of like the idea of looking into a different time period in kind of the Wonder Woman mythos, where before we get Wonder Woman, we kind of get to know these Amazon women. So yeah, we'll see. Next up, we have Saga number 42. No problems with the cover on this one. So yeah, Saga's just totally awesome. Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples have just done an amazing job on that book, and as a parent, it hits me on a different level. So I just it's just really good. If you're a parent, I highly recommend checking it out. If you're not a parent, it's still good. You should read it. Next up, we have Savage number 3. This book's pretty cool. I've been enjoying it for the most part. The first 2 issues were interesting enough, so I'm going to keep going with it. Next up, we have Suicide Squad number 10, the Justice League versus Suicide Squad tie-in. Just what can I say? DC's done a great job with this crossover tie-in event stuff. The tie-in books add to the main story from Justice League versus Suicide Squad. They don't take away from it or make you feel like you didn't need to read it. They are really good. So if you want to check them out, great. If not, don't worry about it. The main book is there for you, and you don't need the other stuff. Next up, we have Teen Titans number 4. It's been okay so far. I'm not completely sold on the Teen Titans. Teen Titans has always been kind of a hard sell for me. I've never gotten into the Teen Titans team, so we'll see if I continue with that one. Next up is Wonder Woman number 15. We start part 1 of The Truth. Wonder Woman's basically going crazy, and yeah, we'll see what that entails. Rucka has just done an amazing job telling 2 stories in Wonder Woman, alternating issues between the past story and the present story. And this is the current present story that's going on. So I'm really excited to get into it and see what this new story arc is. So that's it for the pull list. I did grab some variants this week. Of course, I did grab the Gary Frank variant for Action 972. Detective Comics had its variant right there. Flash had an homage variant to Mirror Master, so I thought that was pretty cool. Hellblazer had an okay one. I was a little unsure about this one, but I decided to pick it up anyway. Of course, Justice League versus Suicide Squad had 2. This has the Green Lanterns versus El Diablo, and the other one has Killer Frost versus Cyborg. It's a little odd that's the variants, because I mean they ran out of numbers and didn't include kind of all the characters, so that was kind of them jamming them in. Next up is the Justice League of America Killer Frost Rebirth variant. Thought it was a fun cover there with the art. Suicide Squad, of course, had its variant cover for number 10. And Wonder Woman had a really cool broken mirror image kind of variant cover there. There was a couple variants I didn't pick up. I'm going to start trying to not get as many variants. But do be aware that they are out there, and if you want them, just to keep an eye out, and so on and so forth. So now we're ready for our the read list, stuff I read to stay current on more books than I actually pull. First up, we have Captain America Steve Rogers, number 10. Cap's deep in being in part of Hydra, and who knows what's going to happen. We'll see. I've been enjoying it. Nick Spencer initially did not grab me with the first couple issues, but as I've gone, it's gotten a lot better. It's not as slapsticky as his Ant-Man stuff or Superior Foes stuff. So I've been really when the first started, it kind of had that feel, but now it's gotten its footing, and it's really good. Next up, we have Doctor Strange, number 16. More from the wonderful Jason Aaron. This is the return of Dormammu. So we'll see what the Doctor has in store on that issue. Next up, we have Infamous Iron Man, number 4. it's been good so far. I've been enjoying it, so I'll keep going with it. Next up is Inhumans versus X-Men #3. Yeah, it hasn't been the best versus book. It's really difficult to kind of get behind it, especially since we're on issue 3 and it's come out for about a month or two now. We've had 4 issues with the 0 issue now, and it really doesn't feel like it's moving anywhere. And I think with the Justice League versus Suicide Squad just kind of hammering out every single week for 6 weeks, kind of leaves this versus book in the dust, as with quality wise. So, but yeah, we'll see if it gets better, or if just I'll finish it. I'll be honest. Next up, we have Star Trek Green Lantern Stranger Worlds #2. The first issue was pretty cool, so I decided to check out issue 2. But yeah, we'll see. Next up, we have Star Wars #27. Jason Aaron's penning a Yoda story in here, so I'm really curious to see how this one goes. Yeah, because it's Yoda, and Yoda's fucking awesome. So, finally on the read list, we have Thanos #3. Lemire's has done a great job on issues 1 and 2, so I'm going to continue picking that up and seeing where it goes. But yeah. So that's it for the pull list this week. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, please leave comments down in the comment window below. Like seeing what you guys are getting, talking about stuff. I know you guys have asked for recommendations and stuff. So as if I get a chance, I will comment on it and reply to you there. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also listen to me on the Comic Conspiracy podcast. We just recorded episode number 294 after being off for a week due to my co-host Ryan Higgins being in Florida at Disney World and visiting his dad. So fairly decent sized episode, so you can check that out at www.geekbox.com. But there will also be a link in the description below for you to check that out as well. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you get access, or you get access to roundups from Toby and Charlie. They talk about normal-ish TV shows on those. You also get access to Bryce Brieflies, which we haven't had one in a while, but we are hopefully going to have one next time Bryce is on, and those are only exclusive for our Patreon backers. But we do appreciate everything from our Patreon backers. We thank you very much for what you give us. It helps us with hosting and getting food and getting some comics and stuff. So thank you guys very much for helping support us that way. And Toby and Bryce actually broke into the store and attempted to record an episode while Ryan was gone. But we have no idea if they actually recorded. If they did, they are claiming they lost the file. If they didn't, then they're just lying and being a ruse. But Toby did go and create a web comic out of photos. I can't remember what that type of comic book is called, but you should check it out. I believe it's up on our Facebook group for the Geekbox and the Comic Conspiracy, or you can find it on one of our Twitter handles, or on Facebook on one of our pages. But it's really funny stuff. So if you follow me or you follow the podcast, you should check that out. That's pretty much it for this week. I'm a little busy with some court stuff, so I've been having to take care of that, which has delayed me being able to sit down and get up some unboxing videos for a couple statues that I picked up. So please be patient, and I will hopefully get those up soon. If there's anything you guys would like for me to talk about on a specific video, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear ideas from you guys about what you want me to talk about. I know I am going to do a comic book public service announcement kind of episode or video soon. I'm just getting together exactly what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, and all that wonderful stuff. So that one's going to be a little bit more scripted, but yeah. So that's it for this week. Again, I do appreciate you watching. Please follow me on Twitter. Remember, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, all that wonderful stuff. And as usual, I hope your wallet doesn't hate you after today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.